All right, here we go. Hello,
Here we go.
Judith.
Hi.
How's it going?
Very well, thank you.
Nice. We're back with our virtual bookshelf coding session. And I believe it's already episode 7.
Wow.
Yup, it's actually been a while. And we left it off last week with a working delete button and a working create a new book dialog that actually closes by its own. And that was very nice. And I think for today, what do we want to do today?
I think today we want to edit a book. So the idea was to prototype like a create, read, update, delete application. And we're still missing the update part. So yeah, today I think we're gonna try if we can edit a book. So we can add one so far, delete it, again, fetch it and display it, but we can't edit it yet. So I think that's what we're going to do today. And I will share my screen.
Very cool. Hey, Judith, can we also, as a little bonus, let's see if we get to it after editing.
Yes.
Can we, like currently, if you hit the trash can, it just goes away, like immediately.
Yes.
Can we have like a little warning, are you sure thing?
Definitely. I was also thinking about that. We could even do it probably right now, super hacky, just using like the window alert thing. Is it called window alert? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So not like a fancy UI component, but just like this ugly browser pop-up. Do you know the syntax for that? Maybe where is our delete?
It's probably just window.alert.
Yeah, I was thinking that, right? So here we have our function on delete button click. Or maybe is it like window.confirm something?
Yeah, exactly. Alert just has one button. And confirm. Yes. Confirm has okay and cancel by default. Yep.
Okay. So what if we just say, are you sure want to permanently delete this book? But what happens then?
I think it's it returns a boolean. So we can say if window confirm and then do it, and else just go away, so to say. Yeah. Use it as an early return, so to, right?
Mm-hmm. Maybe like so.
Toad. Mm-hmm. We could probably even just go, if not window confirm, and then return.
It's
so
actually working. I think it's just because I'm only sharing a tab. I think you can't see it.
Oh, cool.
But that's, I think, all it took. So I think,
awesome.
Yeah, if we click cancel, nothing happens.
Totally.
So I click OK.
It also deleted one, sorry.
Oh, you also did? Okay, because I was like, why is it deleting all of the books now? It's like, okay, all good.
And another episode for major bug hunting.
Yeah.
Awesome. No, it's good. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
No, so it works. Perfect.
It's not pretty. I usually hate these browser pop-ups. Maybe later on, if we're feeling fancy, we could also replace it with one of the Shatsian components, like a little dialogue instead. But I think for now, just to prevent accidental deleting, maybe that's good enough.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna add like one book so we see something. Nice. What are you fixing?
I just thought that I
Oh
don't
yeah,
like how
much
the
nicer.
icons spread out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's better.
it's UI designer fatigue.
Cool.
Okay, cool.
Then let's look
And
at that other icon, which does nothing so far.
perfect.
So what I was thinking,
With me.
tell me if maybe it's not as easy as I'm thinking, but I would love to just reuse the dialogue we already have. Because if we look at our add a new book dialogue,
Mm-hmm.
it's pretty much the dialogue we need for editing a book as well, right? It has exactly the same fields.
Mm-hmm.
We would just have to change the title depending on whether it's add or edit, and probably the button name.
And the text below it too. We could also get rid of it. I think we just wanted to see what happens if you
Right.
add a
We just wanted
description to a form like that.
I mean,
But yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
Let's reuse it. Mm-hmm.
Cool. I mean, we are prototyping, but still, I think it's always nice to keep the code a little bit clean. So I would love to rename this component actually to reflect that it can add or edit. So what do you think if we just called it book dialogue instead of add book? Let's see if the sandbox is smart enough to do the renaming for me. No, but that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I have to rename it here as well. Book dialogue.
Seems to work again.
Here, you should also call it book dialogue.
Yeah. And you want to pass in the text as prompts when you use it, like the add new book stuff and so on? Or how do you want to do it?
That's a good question. I would like to pass as little props as possible, actually. And what I'm thinking is if we want to edit a book, we need to pass the book itself, because if we want to edit a book, we want to display the fields that are already set, right? So I'm thinking we could simply pass the book, and if, like, as an optional prop, and if it's present, we know that it's edit, and then we can change the title depending on whether or not we pass a book, and then we also have all the book properties available.
Awesome. Let's do exactly that.
What do you think?
Yes, much better.
So basically, I guess we just have an optional book here as one more prop.
Yeah, I'm really curious how we're going to do the transforming to snake case back and forth. Yeah. There, let's see.
Yeah, true. Why is it not happy? I have to click on it, I think.
Well, down here it's just unhappy. Oh, cannot find the name book.
But if I click on update import, yeah, okay, nothing happens. Okay, I don't care. Then we have to deal with ourselves.
Online VS Code is still not the desktop one, I guess. At least not in Code Sandbox.
Yeah, but it looks better.
Cool.
Nice. Okay, so where do we have to somehow change stuff? The title, I guess. Where is it?
Yeah, we can. We have this thing. We can. We can just go. Since we're prototyping,
Exactly.
Right? We can just go book?
Yeah.
Question mark.
Yeah.
And then be like, what do you call that? Edit book.
Yeah.
Right? Or this.
Yeah.
Boop. End of story.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
So we have that, and then we have it down here. Add book to library. We also go book question mark. And we say update or like update book.
Yeah.
Right.
I like update. Yeah.
Like now you're actually doing it. Sort of, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, let's kick the dialogue description, okay? Come on, right?
Yeah, it was a bit misplaced. Maybe let's try opening the dialog from our edit icon just to see if it actually works so far, I would say. Where was our edit icon? Probably in the book component, right?
In the book component, yep.
Do we? We have a console log in here. Cool. So we have on delete button click. Then let's maybe do on edit button click as well.
Yeah. Oh, I think I just make the button more dramatic. I wonder if it can be destructive on hover. Oh, sorry. Co-authoring code. Sorry. I'm messing with you.
Oh, I can't really see what you're doing, but I see something bright red in the background.
I yes. I was drawn by the destructive variant of the button. I want to see what destructive means.
Designers unleashed.
Oh. Yeah, it's a little bit dramatic. I think I kind of want the hover to be destructive, That would be enough. I wonder how I can do that. But now, let's focus on editing. Making it pretty is going to be next episode. So
yes, absolutely. Okay, let me think. What do we want to do? On edit button click. First of all, we probably need the dialog component in here as well, right?
Oh, sorry. What did I do?
I'm just gonna copy that from our main app component where we are already opening the dialog and put it into our book component as well. So we probably need to wrap this in a fragment, otherwise it's going to give us this can only have a single element warning.
Oh, yeah. Unsafe assignment of any value.
Ooh, what? What's going on?
Down in the book dialog, but this is because we don't have those functions yet, I guess.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Right? This is like...
okay, so now... Something is a bit wild here. Do you see the flickering?
So the console is saying Um, oh, are we still importing ad book in here? And not
No,
book
we're
dialog?
importing the book dialog.
Ah,
Okay, wait, I
oh,
need
this
to
is old.
think for 1 second because the book dialog, okay, it gets is open property to open and close it. That's fine. Handle on open change. What I'm wondering is, so right now I copied the rendering of the book dialog component to our book component.
Name.
Which means we would kind of render it in 2 places. One in the main app component when we click the add button. And then we have it again in our book component when we click the edit button. But if we want to render it here, we kind of need to define all these functions in here. And especially like the handle on open change and so on, we already have that in our main app component.
Can we can we put the book dialog as a child on the, no, that's the same thing as in the prop, right? Oh no, it's not.
I was thinking
wondering
if instead of opening this book dialog down here, we simply send an event back up to the parent component. What do you think? And tell it to render the component it already has there. But what would that mean? We would send like an event to say like, okay, open the dialog.
Yeah.
But we would also have to send the book, I guess. Oh, we can do that.
Have to, exactly. So we have to figure out if we're passing the book or not.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then we also have to say what the handle on update change and handle on update books, what they do.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah.
handle on handle on open change is fine. Like we want to set the book dialog to open. That would actually be cool to not repeat because we have state for that already. Right?
Yeah.
And then the handle on update books is our handle update function, which just gets the books again. So we see our new stuff. That would also be cool not to repeat.
Yeah.
So actually, our event only has to update is book dialog open, the state, so to say, because that will open the dialog then.
Yeah.
And so actually everything is cool, only that I don't know how we're passing in the book or not into the book dialog. But so the event should probably contain the ID of the book that we want to, or the entire book data actually. So, because we have the book data in our book component.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And we kind of want to say, I mean, what we're in normal people's language, we want to, like, we're in a book and we want to say, this is everything we know about the book. Let me change it. Right?
Hang on a second. So I'm a bit confused because our file is called book and our component is called book item. But if we look at this code here, we are rendering one of these cards for every book that we have. So actually at this point here, we already have the book, like the one book we are rendering in that one card.
Yes.
So we basically have that information available, I think.
Oh, well, then the event could also just send the ID, right? Like I want to edit
I don't
this
think
one
the
book. No.
event has to, maybe I'm lost, but I don't even think the event has to set anything. I think the event just basically has to trigger what so we would pass something like a function kind of handle on update book click. It's a bit ugly, but okay. And what would that do?
Handle on update book.
We can think of a
edit,
better name.
Instead of click edit or something.
Well, say that again, please.
Instead of click, maybe just edit, like handle on update book edit or something.
On update book edit?
Oh no, that's weird.
Or just handle on edit book.
Yes,
over that.
Perfect.
Nice.
Yeah, because the update, like we're kind of using the update to get new data from the server, right?
Yeah, that's also, I was confused actually myself by the terms we used last time. Because now we are talking about updating a book, but we also already have handle on update books. But it's, so maybe it's actually good if we kind of keep calling this edit.
Yeah.
And then
we could also replace the handle on update books like with a refresh or something. Maybe refresh is better to introduce another word than update there. I don't know. I'm out to fun with this.
Maybe.
Actually.
Yeah, again, we're prototyping. It's not perfect. But what I'm thinking, so handle on edit book. Where would we put that? Let's put it here. Const handle on. And I was thinking that maybe, well, this would have to set the dialog to open. What was it called again? Set is book dialog open true. And then maybe we have another piece of state.
Oh, yeah.
Which kind of holds the book that we want to edit. Does that make sense?
Well, I mean, we have all the books anyway, and if we somehow know the ID, we can just go pick from that array.
We don't even have to. I'm gonna show you what I mean, and then we can see if that makes sense. So if we do something like selected book, set selected book, use state, and then we let's specify the type. I would say that can be a book, and probably it should also be null in case we don't have one for the add dialog in particular. So let's start with null. And then what I'm thinking, this handle on edit book maybe gets a book as a parameter.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we have that here. So if we just go and call the function with that book we already have here, like handle on edit book.
Ooh.
But it doesn't like it.
No, maybe because you called it the same thing twice?
Braces. You think so?
No, actually not.
Please add braces? Okay, I can try.
Seriously? But why?
I don't know. Well, now it's still complaining because we haven't defined that function on our book item properties. And then here, we would simply say set selected book
to book.
Book.
That's so cool.
So we
you're
set
just,
a selected book,
yeah.
and then we open the dialog, and then the book should be somehow in the dialog, right?
Well, but I think the dialogue, does it end up in the dialogue? What are we passing into the dialogue? Well, we're not passing anything into the dialogue yet.
But we have already added the book property, so that's gonna be a selected book, but now it's gonna complain. And so it can be undefined. I think it can't be null. So we could either change the property on book dialog to be null, or we simply say undefined. Yeah. So let's recap what's going on. If we have a selected book, which we should have when we click the edit button, yeah, then we're going to set this selected book, and then we're going to pass it to the book dialog. If we don't have that, for example, when we click the add new book button, we're just going to pass undefined, which is fine because it's an optional property. And then we don't need the book. What do you think?
Totally. I have two questions though.
Yes.
First of all, instead of question mark undefined, can we also, this is really designer's question. Could our state that is currently of the selected book that is currently null, can that be undefined? And we can just, not do the null thing or whatever. Can it be book or undefined? And then we just start with undefined. And then down here, we don't have to do the question mark thing?
Probably. I think we could.
And then just pass selected book?
Yeah.
And that's kind of a lead over to my next question, that if we say add new book, then we probably need a handle function here on that set, where we have the button with add new book, right? We currently just have this in place function that says set is book dialog open true. We should probably have a handler that removes the last selected book and sets it to undefined again, right?
Yes, we could do a handler, which would basically just be this function. Because we are calling that again, in our handle on edit book. What I'm thinking is we already have a handler for handle on open change.
I think
I would actually prefer to set the book back to undefined when we close the dialog, not when we open it.
Yeah, even prettier.
Right?
Totally.
So
yeah.
What I'm thinking. What do we do? Handle on open change. That's kind of the function we use for both opening and closing, right? But we can determine if it's open or close by this is open parameter here. So first we call the set is book dialog open, and then maybe if we say if not is open, so basically if we are closing the dialog, we're just gonna set selected book undefined.
Nice.
I
love that. Yeah.
And I mean, it might happen. So for example, if we close the add book dialog, we're still gonna set selected book to undefined, even though it was already undefined. But why not?
Doesn't matter.
It really does not matter. So the important part is when we close the dialog, our book is back to undefined.
Yeah. And that's cool. So we can, if we for some reason have a third button that wants to do something with this form, we never have to think about it because it's in a central place. That is really cool.
Cool. But I think there was something missing to make this work. Yes, we don't have this property yet, I think, on our book item function. So maybe we add that.
Mm-hmm.
Handle on added book. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and now in the book, like we don't even need the dialogue and the fragment anymore, right?
Yes, we can remove that.
I love deleting stuff.
Right?
That's my favorite thing. I'm somehow always happier with pull requests where the red number of stuff you deleted
Yeah, I love
is
it.
bigger than the green one.
Yeah, it's the best.
Cool. But so, okay, now we're gonna do
Now.
this. What are we doing now?
We just have to call our function, I think. So we pass the handle on edit book, and we're just calling it
Are you
when
serious? Because,
I think
well, yeah.
so. Like,
Because we have
this
the
might
book
all
already.
not work, but I'm thinking.
Might as well do.
Let's just see what happens. So we have no errors for a second. Edit book.
Gasp. Why?
I like this. I like this. Nice. So I think this. What's wrong?
No, but it's not showing the data yet.
Yes, because
we're
using
not doing
that.
yet. Yeah, sorry.
So so far we only changed the title and the button label.
I got too excited for a second.
We're done. Not quite.
Awesome. You blew it out of the water. Job done.
Yeah. No, but I think it makes, I always like to start with these kind of simpler things, like changing the title or something.
Mm-hmm.
Because as we saw first, like or at least I thought about a different approach of kind of putting the dialogue into this other component. And then once you start doing it, you kind of see like, it's a lot of duplicate code.
Yes.
So this way we started with the easy part, but I think now we have a nice way of passing our data around and opening the component. Yeah, but we have the book available in, no, we're not in the book item anymore. Whoops. Now I guess we can go to the book dialog and actually do something with our data. What do you say?
The book, yeah, because book item is done. The only thing we actually had to do here was to hook up the function on the button. That's it.
Yes. Yes. So yeah.
So
everything
cool.
we're doing right now is just opening the dialog when we click this edit button and changing the title. Let's also check if it still works with add. Yeah. So.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah. Nice.
So
but yeah,
now...
we're not actually displaying the data yet, and we're also not updating anything yet.
Yeah.
So let's think. Where do we start? We have the book available. Maybe let us start with the default values. So let's say if we have a book. Could kind of do this, maybe. Book.title.
Yeah, maybe a question mark after the book.
Right. FGA.
Does that? Nee. Yeah. Yes.
It's just a bit slow. So yeah, maybe does that make sense? And we do that kind of for all the default values.
Are you serious? And then it's kind of already done, and we don't even need the data wrangling because we already have it. Oh my god!
I mean, we have to change what we send to the backend, and we have to call a different function from like in Supabase, because right now when basically this where is it?
We're
the
making
update
a new
book
one.
button.
Yes.
is kind of the same as the create book. So if we click this button right now, it's calling the create function in Supabase. So we kind of have to tell our function to figure out whether it's create or update.
Nice.
And yeah, that's, I think, what we still have to do. But let's first see if the default values would be displayed.
Cool, yeah. No, I was worried about the transformed values bit where we do the,
yeah.
that
the
was conversion.
Ugly, right?
Yeah,
I remember we did something ugly there.
Yeah, and I thought we have to do it again, sort of. But since we're now just taking the book data and kind of pass it on as the default values,
yeah,
then we already have all of that stuff. Which
yeah,
is
I'm
super
hoping we
cool.
don't have to do the transformed stuff again. But we'll see. Book dot rating. Okay. Nice. We have that publication year.
Yeah, what is up with that?
Booked. I think probably. Okay, in our form, I think we are displaying strings. Even for our number fields, maybe. No, it's also not IP. Or is it not
type
IP?
String or number is not assignable to type string or undefined.
Okay, so I have to. Yeah. Okay, let's try that. And the same for the rating book. Oops. Dot rating. String. Let's see if that works. No idea. Okay, so let's first check if we see the data. No, we don't. Why not?
Did it update? Like,
Try a refresh, you mean?
I mean, that's also, let's see what comes in as the book, if that works.
Yeah.
In a log, like, let's see if we're getting it from the selected book stuff. Right?
Yes.
So, okay. Whoop. Okay. Yoink.
Can you see my console as well? Yeah. Yeah, so that looks
It
good,
does work.
actually.
It works 4 times.
Then... But I think that's also this weird React dev mode where it renders stuff like at least twice, maybe more. Yeah. Let's look at the form, because I think in our form, maybe we are also setting default values. No. Form.control. Form.
So, can we... But if we just log the form that we just made, can we see the values that it put there? Yeah. Oh, no, we can. Oh, get values. We could probably do get values. Like we only get like all the methods it has defined. Get values. And it was
what I'm wondering is also if it's a timing thing. Like if our component, if this book dialog renders before we receive the book. Because we are only setting the default values once.
Yeah.
And let's say the dialog renders, but it hasn't received the book property yet. Then it's going to go to the empty strings for all the default values. And then if the book kind of arrives a millisecond later, we are not updating it. You know what I mean?
Oh, you think?
So I'm not sure.
I'm
I'm not
I'm
super
wondering
sure,
if
to be
we're
honest, how this works. Like in
do
which,
we do we ever like I was just so for the default values that we define on the form, right?
yeah.
um down in the form field and the form item and the form
Mhm.
control and then the input um like are we actually setting the value of an input?
Setting it? No, I think we're just connecting the form kind of as
Yeah,
a whole.
because we're setting the placeholder explicitly, right?
Yes, the placeholder, yes.
And then we spread the field in there, and
Yeah.
the field comes out of the
So I
render
think the only
function.
thing that connects it really, so we are passing our form to the form component, and then the thing that connects it to like a single property is the name, which is why we can't have typos, for example, in this name title. If I were to spell that wrong, I think it would immediately complain and say there's no field title on that form you defined.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Maybe just to like test this theory, what I'm thinking is we might need a use effect. Maybe. I don't know. But we can try it maybe with just the title for now.
I see.
So what I'm thinking is if the book property changes,
Mhm.
we're gonna go. How do we change values in our form? Form dot
I don't know.
set value, and I think then
If the oh, I know what you're talking about. So the use form hook kind of ran
so
already.
I think we're gonna so we're gonna just title book dot title or empty string like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Missing dependency. Okay, let's
Hey,
go.
but also, and like on my machine, there's all three fields are set already. Like for me, it says test book Jane Austen in 1950 in the dialog. Like what
If you
happens if
open
you
the
click edit
dialog,
now? Yeah.
what?
Oh, so if it does that then it's absolutely your theory. Like then it's, I guess, because I'm in an in-between render state somehow, and it
Wild.
is
because
wild, but
like
yeah.
now for me, I see the test book, so that's good.
Yes.
But that's the only one we set in the use effect. But you said for you, even before that, it updated all the fields with just the default value.
Well, I don't know if before that, but for me, it's also author and publication year. But I guess like if I say add new book and add like like I'm just gonna add like a whatever, just a new book here, and then I go to edit, then it's the book title is correct now, but author and publication here is still Jane Austen of 1950. So it's absolutely what you said. Like we're populating the form because before the book is ready to be picked from. So let's do the use effect thing. Yeah.
All right, then I don't know if there's a nicer way of doing this rather than setting all the fields manually. But I don't know.
Maybe there's a set values or something.
I'm just gonna continue this unless you find out something else that's prettier.
Ooh. I guess you can, there's an update method that takes an object.
That would be form.update?
I think so. And then it says, then it says 0 as a first parameter, and then comma, and then the object with all of the keys and values.
I don't have that on my form
You don't?
object. No.
Do you have replace?
Maybe control? I don't know.
You can use methods as replace and update for a field array. Let's do your thing. I think it's, it's fine.
Yeah, we're just making it work for now.
Totally.
Okay, one more if you click. Set value. Which one's missing? Rating.
Rating, yeah. Hey, in that case, we can probably we didn't even have to touch the default values thing, right? Or do you think so?
Maybe not. Yeah.
So we don't have to do it twice?
Probably we didn't have to do that.
Right? Can just get rid of all of this stuff. Doink. To keep that nice and simple. Whoop, 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 whoop. All right.
Cool. Let's see what happens. That looks good. Value prop on input should not be null. I think I missed one for the description. It should be an empty string if it's not there. Otherwise, we're gonna.
Computers are the worst.
Forms are the worst. Honestly, forms is. There's this meme that developers can't center a div, but I think we're kind of over that. We're ready to hate on forms a little bit instead.
Absolutely. Developers can't use forms.
Let's just make sure that it works for all the fields, maybe. Test description, adopted, rating, whoops.
You mean that you can still type in them?
No, I mean that all of the fields. Now, if I click on edit, it did not work.
No, hold on. But don't you have to click on the test book thing on edit?
Yeah,
because now you created a new one. Right?
Yes, right.
There's a new book in town now with all of your things.
I tricked myself here.
Yeah. You were just talking about it.
Yes, I already clicked our update book button, assuming that it would work, but it can't.
Well, at least it's, let's say, a non-destructive edit because it just adds a new book.
Yeah, exactly. But that's exactly what I meant. So I guess that's the part that's still missing. But the good news is that at least all the fields take their default values.
Exactly. And it takes all of them and makes them into Superbase format and sends it as a new book. So really the only thing we have to do now is to replace the create book with an update book.
Exactly. I
Right?
want to get rid of this console log. I don't get it anymore. Yeah, should we still do that?
Absolutely.
Let's do that. Handle form submit. I think that's where we kind of go in. So right now, we are always calling create book from our service. So here, basically, we just have to check whether we have a book or not. And if we have one, we're going to call a update book function instead, but we don't have that yet. So let's write it, I would say. So let's maybe jump.
What if?
Yes.
No. What if we have?
What are you thinking?
I was just wondering if, on this, if we have a function that's create or update book. Oh no, that's probably that's ugly, right?
I mean, the question is where do we want to make that decision? Do we want to write a new function in our service that's update book, and then we of decide in our dialog which one we call, or do we want to have only one function in our service, which is create or update, and then it decides which Superbase function to call?
No, I think that's so. I think we should have the CRUD thing in the services, right? So everything else is probably I can hear my colleague Daniel in my ear saying, "Yes, stop messing with the API. It's ugly what you're doing."
I would also say so. I think it would look kind of nice if we just add the missing update book function here. And plus, otherwise, if we had a 2-in-1 function, we would have to pass another parameter to the service.
And we would have
saying,
the await Superbase from books insert, and then we have to kind of kafuzzle around with that. So it's just going to be super ugly.
Yeah.
For the convenience of only, passing in a parameter in our handle update function. So anyway, let's totally do that.
Yeah. Now, we can guess what the syntax is.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably pretty straightforward. We can also look at the documentation. But it's probably just going to be... Whoops.
Superbase. I'll go check.
Oh, wait. Superbase dot. Oh no, Superbase dot from books. And then we don't want to insert, we want to probably, update. Looks right.
Yeah. Insert or update is what the docs say.
Update, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're gonna pass. We already have this nifty object to snake function. Pass the book. Except that we are not returning anything, right? Yeah, I think that's just fine like that.
I mean, I think we also, after our change in the last episode where we're just fetching the books again, we kind of don't even need the return on the create book function either. Right?
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
I mean, we could have it for good measure or whatever for future proofing, but we kind of don't need it. We could just say it's Boolean success, done, true, nice, so to say, instead of data.
Yeah.
I
just realized, of course, we have to somehow update the book with the right ID. So we can't just say update book. We need to select one, I guess, to update. So for create
yes.
book, we are passing a book, but without the ID, because when we want to create one, we don't have an ID yet. But actually, when we are updating a book, I think we want to pass the book with the ID, because we're going to need it to tell Superbase which row to update in the table. Does that make sense?
That totally makes sense.
Book.
They have things here like EQ, ID, and then 1. Yeah.
Like so, right? Kind of what we do when we are deleting a book. We're doing the same thing. Yeah. Nice. And then we can do this again, throw an error if we have one. And then I would say data. Maybe we don't need for now. Cool. So we have an update book function.
Perfect.
And then basically here, transformed values. We can keep the transformed values, I think. And then we're just going to send here if do something else. I would say do what we are already doing. Create book.
It would be cool to keep the entire then part for both functions.
Also thinking about that.
But can't we just go await create book or await update book and then do the rest?
Can we? We could, but that would mean our handle form submit function would have to be async.
Ooh.
Does that work? Can it be async? Or does it? Maybe not.
No, it says async arrow function has no await expression. So maybe it's
That's
just saying,
fine. Yeah.
Look, use it if you're making it.
Yeah. So let's try it. So if we just say await, I think we need to probably update book.
Gotta import that, eh?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Oh no, it did the auto import, I think. Await update book. Okay. Oh, this validation is so slow. I always think I'm doing something wrong. But then in the end, it's all good.
Maybe we actually do have to update to a bigger VM or whatever.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. And
hey,
then
but Judith,
yeah.
Don't we have to still pass the transformed values into the update book thing?
Oh, absolutely. You are so right.
Just in both cases, we're just doing something different with them?
Yes. But we are still using the book is just a prop. Of course, it makes no sense to pass the book at all, because that's the old values.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely right.
Cool.
So we're going to do it like this, and then we're basically moving this out of the then, right?
Yeah. Then we can just delete the then.
Yeah.
We can probably have the catch also on the update book, I suppose. Like that. Failed to update.
I think that's
book.
like.
Or is that?
That's maybe
is that not allowed.
A bit of a wild mix between async await and then catch syntax. So I think if we want to catch the errors with an await, we have to do a try catch block instead, which we can.
Oh, yeah, cool.
But let's what do we need? So this we are gonna copy. For later, that would be the error thing. So we can just delete it. And then we're gonna copy this part. This goes away. Chup. And then I guess outside of the if else, we can just do all of this.
Mm-hmm.
And then like this whole big thing, we can wrap, I think, in a try catch. Ugh.
Isn't this is much cooler anyway? No?
Yeah, why I was thinking that, I don't know, at some point it complained about the handle form submit function being async. But maybe not. I mean, if it works, I'm super happy. And then catch, we can put in console error.
Bam.
Bam. Noise. Cool.
Let's try.
Let's see what happens. Test book updated. Update book. No.
Did
Let's
it work on
look at
Superbase?
what's, I don't know. I'm
Ranging.
gonna look into the network tab for a second. Maybe you can check Superbase.
Checking. No, it's not getting to Superbase.
Okay, so I'm gonna try it again, and we can look at the request that's sent out.
Oh, but Judith, it still has the original book in here and not the transformed value. You know?
Yeah.
It's why okay, the update book doesn't like it.
Yes, because I think we have to we have to change one thing slightly, because the transformed values don't have an ID, because the transformed values are all of our values from the form.
Yes.
So maybe let's change the syntax of our update book function slightly, and instead pass the ID as a first argument.
Yeah.
So we're going to say update book with book ID and the transformed values. And then in here, we're going to say book ID. Our book ID is a number, right? Or is it a string? I think it's a number. And
you can also go like the book interface and then square brackets ID to pick the type from it if you wanted to. But it's the same thing.
What?
Like it's you know this thing?
Ooh,
where you go like
that's
that?
nice. True.
It's super nitpick. It just
Facebook ID. Yeah, and then it's right enough to figure out that it's a number. Cool. And then, but yeah, then the book again is gonna be like of this weird type where we omit the ID. Because that's then just the transformed values, right?
And down here we just right.
Yes.
Oh, but we're missing a bracket, I think.
Oh, I hate it. Yeah, we are. This one.
Yeah. Nice.
Cool.
I feel like this is the one you did.
Is it? Is it?
Oh, I think so.
Let's see. Let's try it again. Test. Updated. Update book. Test book updated.
Boom.
Nice. And it updated the card right away as well.
Yeah.
Which is also nice because we're using the same handle form submit function.
Yeah.
And we already said once that function is called, fetch the books again and update them in the display. So we don't have to do that again.
So
nice.
Cool. It is so cool.
Cool. That went well, I would say.
Grand success.
Nice.
Boop.
Cool. I'm happy with it.
I'm also very happy. I also made a book about toast written by you in the meantime. so it's totally working on the internet,
Toast.
people.
I love it. Some medieval book about toast.
Very cool.
Very cool. I think this is a nice place to stop. And yeah, I think, what do we have left to do? So we actually have an actual CRUD application now.
We have accomplished everything.
Everything. But yeah, I'm not happy with what you did with that button.
Why? I think it's super beautiful.
No, I like the idea to do it on hover. I think that would be kind of cool. And I think there's so many like small tweaks we could make to make it look a bit nicer. So maybe that's what we do next time.
Totally.
Kind of, make it look a little bit more pretty. It doesn't have to win any awards, but just see what we can do with a little bit of tailwind.
That's it.
I think that would be fun.
Right? In the spirit of our prototyping goal, I think that would be cool to explore with with how little tailwind I think we can make this look not so janky and a little bit more attractive. I think that would be nice, right? And then let's see what we still want to do. I mean, right? We can still do the authentication part. We can still do the books in categories part if we're gonna go nuts. Like all sorts of funky stuff. And maybe if we, if we want to do like a total bonus round in the end, we can even make this, we can put in the tiny bits that are needed for a real progressive web app. So you could send this to whoever you're prototyping for. You can send them the link and say, on your iPhone, you can just have like the little jumper icon and then say add to home screen. And then it will even look like a real app and everybody will go like, ah, and you're like, yeah, sure, because it took me no effort and it's not the best developer. So we can play with all of that.
Nice.
That would be cool.
Cool. Sounds good.
Perfecto.
Nice. Then.
Awesome. Yeah.
See you next time, I guess.
Exactly. See you next time. If anyone has anything they want to know, let us please let us know. Put your question on one of the channels, and we'll keep the train going.
Definitely.
See you next time.
Bye bye.
Ciao, Judith.